Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And today we're going to be talking about the legendary lost sectors. Or I guess this legendary lost sector in particular. Because today you can get the chess piece from this lost sector. If you're looking for the new exotics, this is going to be the way to get them. You gotta solo this legendary lost sectors. So today I'm going to walk you through this lost sector. What is the best way to complete it. And also what are the best weapons that you can use in this place to make it the easiest and fastest possible, so you can get the exotics. But before we even get to the loadout or some of the mods that we're running, let's talk about the power level that you need to be. I recommend that you are at least 1290. I think that's a good place to actually start grinding the lost sectors, where you're still going to be at a disadvantage, but it's going to be definitely a hell of a lot easier than being lower light level. So try to get 1290 first before you start grinding the lost sectors. But now that that's out of the way, let's actually get started by looking at the loadout that we're running. And first of all, we are running a scout rifle. It can be any scout rifle, it doesn't really have to be this one. It just matters that it's a scout rifle. Same thing for the secondary weapon, we want an arc bow. You can get this one, the Point of the Stag, from the kiosk. You can go and just pick it up, and it's a pretty good bow. Not just for this lost sector, but also for a lot of different things. If you like bows, definitely take advantage of this while it's still here. But if you don't want to pick up the Point of the Stag, that's fine. You could also use the Arsenic Bite. It's a little bit weaker than the Point of the Stag, but it's also a pretty good bow. The only reason that we're running the bow is just because it's a bow, and it can stun champions, and also it's arc, which is something that we're going to need a lot in this lost sector. So use an arc bow. As long as you have an arc bow, that's going to be good. And the final weapon we're running for our heavy is the Lament. It's a quest weapon. Hopefully most of you guys already have it. If you haven't, definitely go pick it up. It's a great weapon. It's a really fun weapon. And it's something that we're going to use a lot in these lost sectors. Now for the artifact, we're running a couple of things. The two main ones though are Overload Bow and Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle. Just so we can deal with the both types of champions with our two weapons. If you made it to the very end, you also may want to run Passive Guard, which is gonna allow you to take less damage whenever you're close to enemies with your sword. Since we're gonna be using a sword, this one is pretty good, just so you can, stay alive. You don't really have to run this one, but it's just good to run it if you have it. For the subclass, it doesn't really have to be any subclass for any of the characters. I ran this lost sector multiple times with the Titan, the Warlock, the Hunter, and it doesn't seem like you have to have a certain one. You can just run whichever you're comfortable with, whichever keeps you alive, whichever that one is, use that one. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the things that we got on the armor. And I am running a couple Charge with Light mods, but if you don't have them, because you might be new to the game, it's okay, you don't really need them. It just makes you a little bit tankier, and it improves your survivability a little bit, but you don't really have to have them. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with the helmet, and the one mod that you want to definitely run is Sword Ammo Finder. This is going to increase your chances of getting some heavy when you have a sword, and you always want to have some heavy ammo. The sword is going to be very important. It's going to be our main damage weapon, so you definitely want to have this on. The first optional mod that you definitely should run if you have it is Protective Light, which is going to give you damage resistance when your shields get broken. So whenever you get low on health, it'll just allow you to take more damage, allowing you to stay alive. So definitely run this if you have it, but if you don't have it, that's okay. I am not going to run it for the sake of the video, just, so I could pretend like I don't have any other mods. For the gauntlets, we're running Overload Bow and Anti-Barrier Scout, which is what's going to help us take care of both of the champions. These are the mods that you got from the artifacts, so you will have them. Now for the chest piece, we're running Melee Damage Resistance, and we're running Sniper Damage Resistance. This is going to help you again to stay alive, and just make you a little bit tankier. And the optional mod, in case you have it, is Loosen Blade, which is going to allow you to do more damage with the sword if you're charged with light, and it also is going to increase your charge rate with the sword. It's pretty good. If you have it, definitely run it. Again, just like with the other one, I'm not going to run it just to pretend that we don't have it. Now for the legs, we're running Sword Scavenger, which is going to allow us to pick up more ammo per break for our sword, just keeping us real healthy on the heavy ammo. And for the mod, that's optional, we're running Shield Break, which is going to allow us to get charged with light whenever we break any shields. So this is what's going to make the other two mods work. So you definitely want to put this one on if you put the other two optional mods on. And lastly, for a cloak, if you did get the passive guard mod, this is where you put it. Like I said, it doesn't really have to be one that you have to run, but it just makes the whole thing easier. So if you have it, run it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it too much. And yeah, that's the whole build. I'm pretty sure you guys noticed that I wasn't really talking about these mods, but that's on you. I don't know if you want more mobility, I don't know if you want some more resilience, some recovery. Recovery usually is the go-to, that's why I have a lot of recovery, but that's your thing. But regardless, that's the build. Now let's actually get into this lost sector, and let me show you how to run this thing. Alright, so we landed in the lost sector, and I thought about just, doing post commentary, but I decided that this is gonna be a little bit better if I just walk you through live as we go through one. So we're gonna use our arc bow right here at the beginning to take out all the shields on these harpies. These harpies are kind of annoying, so you want to take them out as quickly as possible. They usually go down pretty easily, so pretty nice. Now you're gonna see that this guy likes to pretty much go all around this room, this Hydra. And all we gotta do is just shoot it. We go straight through the shield thanks to our anti-barrier rounds, which is a nice bonus that we have on the scout. And you can pretty much just shoot him from like back here, and he won't really do much. He just kind of hangs out back there. He will spawn some enemies though, like now. Sometimes they spawn a little bit earlier, sometimes they spawn a little bit later. But just a bunch of harpies and one minotaur. So be on the lookout for the minotaur. He's gonna be like the most dangerous one. There we go. I think that's most of the harpies, if not all of them. We're gonna hit the Hydra a bit more. Oh, the minotaur. Now here, against the minotaur, you definitely want to use the sword. He's right there. The sword, something that's good about it is that it goes through shields, no matter what type of shield it is. So even if this minotaur has, a void shield, and you don't have any void weapons or any void nades, you can still deal with it. Another good trick that you can use against minotaurs, or I guess anything really, any high damage enemy, is that you can charge up your bow, hit them once, and now they have lower damage. You might be thinking, why? Why is that a thing? And that's because of the overload rounds. Overload shots lower enemy weapon damage. So whenever you hit an enemy with an overload shot, their damage is going to be lower. So you want to make sure that you don't die against the minotaur. A good way to deal with them is hit them with an overload shot, and then just hit them with your sword. They're going to be doing less damage, and you're going to kill them with the sword in like 2 to 3 swings. Looks like this guy left. He usually leaves before he's dead. Now we go up here, spawn the enemies, and then get some more range on them. You want to deal with the harpies as quickly as possible, and also keep an eye out where the champion is. You could stun him, just to make sure he doesn't get too close. And then once you stun him, get your sword, charge it up, and hit him with the good old combo. The combo is usually 3 lights into a heavy, but it can also be 4 lights into a heavy if you feel like you have enough energy to actually do the heavy. I always recommend that you do 3 into the heavy, but if you have a lot of energy, you can actually do an extra one, which is gonna do a little bit more damage, but it's also a little bit more risky. So I think you should stick to 3. But let's deal with the harpies with the bow. The bow is amazing at dealing with the harpies. And let's deal with these guys now. We definitely have some like long range weapons, so you definitely want to take advantage of your range. Looks like everything's dead. Now there's going to be a champion as soon as we go around this corner. So be ready for this guy. Here he comes. You're kind of baiting back here, so there's nothing around for when you shoot him. Always make sure that you're going to have enough energy so you can do your full combo, because if not, you might be in some trouble. So make sure that your sword has all the energy that it needs. Let's see. There's the Hydra again, so when you shoot it again, we can shoot through the shield. Boom. Hydra down. And now there's gonna be some champions back there. But before we deal with them, we're gonna make sure that we take care of the little guys. I did see some ammo right here. Very nice. There's some of the stuff spawning, some of the champions. Here comes another Minotaur. So again, we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the other Minotaur. We charge up our shot, we hit him, and then now that he's lower, now that we lower his damage, that's what I mean, we can just kill him easily. Oh, these guys are a pain. If you have a super that does damage, definitely use it on these guys. If not, you can just wait around the corner and hit them with a combo like we do the champions, and they should die. I don't think that there's any good place for me to use my tether. And I don't want to use something, you know, specific to a class. So I think I'm not going to use that tether. But if you have a Nova, I definitely think that you should Nova one of those guys. One Nova should take them down. And if you have a bubble, you know, that's also pretty good. Just to get extra weapon damage. You could also pepper them with the bow, as you can see I'm doing here. And every time we hit them with the overload shot, we also lower the damage. So, you know, they're not as dangerous anymore. But they will still do damage though, because they used to do tons of damage normally. There we go. Now, we just have to deal with the champions. Yes, this lowering the weapon damage also works with the champions, so you can make them a little bit less dangerous as well. Okay, so this guy's in the stairs. This guy's a little bit difficult if he's in the stairs, but we want to do basically the same thing. We go next to him, we charge up, and we hit him with the combo. If you don't feel like you want to get too close to them, you could also hit them with the scout rifle, because remember, our scout also does have anti-barrier, so we could destroy their anti-barrier that way, but it's just much faster to do it with the sword, and so I think it's more effective. If you want to kill these goblins before you actually go in there to try to kill the champions, you definitely can. Alright, so now there's only one champion left, this guy. And you see that there's all these pillars, so they're good cover. They also struggle to shoot straight down, so if you do this to them, that's an easy way to get to them. So let's charge, and boom, dead. Okay, so now we got to the boss, and here we want to kill the harpies first. And there's two ways to deal with this boss. The first one is just to run at it and kill it with a combo from the lament, because it will kill him. Or you can use pepper him from back here. If you want to go for the safer route, you know, you can just sit back here, shoot him with your bow, shoot him with your scout. If he moves, you could go back here, you know, shoot him from over here, still have some cover. And if he gets too close or you're almost dead, you can just drop down. So that's the safe route for killing the boss. Now the risky route is you get your sword and you make your way towards him. You block so the stomp doesn't push you back. You hit him with the full combo and that should kill him. After that, you just run, get your exotic, and that's it. You beat the Lost Sector in about 8 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes. The more you do it, the faster you're gonna get at it. And at points, you're probably gonna run in at like 5 minutes or something. But yeah, that's a way to run the Lost Sector this season. That's pretty easy, and I feel like it's pretty painless. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys found it useful. If you guys have any questions on maybe alternatives to run if you don't have a certain thing, definitely ask them in the comments below. I want to know anything else, just also ask it in the comments below. I'm thinking of doing these videos for every Lost Sector, now that the season is different and now there's different mods. So people might be looking, for different weapons to run these lost sectors with. So subscribe if you want to see some more lost sectors. Tomorrow we're going to be taking on whichever the new one is. Probably on a different character. Maybe I'll rotate around between Warlock, Titan, and Hunter, just so I don't have to run Hunter all the time. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.